Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. So, Liam Davies becomes, well, he was already the European super-bantamweight champ. He's won the British title. He's also picked up a couple of secondary belts, WBC International and WBO International super-bantam belts. So, he's strapped up and ready to go, but what a brilliant performance against the old veteran Jason Cunningham. And I've got to be honest, I did not see this one coming. Davies stops Cunningham in the first round, which no one's ever done that to Jason Cunningham, who in his last fight, which was earlier this year in March against Miguel Gonzalez, he showed that he's still got something left. I actually thought Cunningham might spring an upset here, but not a bit of it. He just didn't get going. Davies is 27, so he's the younger man by 6 years, coming into his prime, obviously. Very, very confident going in, orthodox fighter. Cunningham, very crafty veteran. Like I say, he's 33 now, southpaw. And you could tell, like when it started, you could tell that Davies was the hunter, and Cunningham was going to try and contain him, bewilder him a little bit. Southpaw jab was there. Davies creeping forward, and whenever he got within range, there was some sort of explosive or hint of what might come, an explosive sort of burst of energy. And probably a minute in, it looked all right for Cunningham. He clearly was going to sort of try and ride out the earlier rounds and then come on strong, maybe take Davies into deep waters. But let's not forget, Davies has been 12 rounds before. He beat Baluta over 12. That was a unanimous decision, and Baluta's a very good fighter. He also beat Mark Leach last year. Actually, both Baluta and the Leach fights, they were both last year. Both unanimous 12-round decisions. So he's been 12, and as we've said before, if you're going to try and contain a guy and take him into those deep waters, you've got to make him fight at a pace he's not happy with. Otherwise, he'll box all night. He'll just do his thing. You can't just be the journeyman looking to take the guy rounds. You've got to actually make him work. Even if you're losing rounds, you've got to make him work, make him exert some energy. Well, about a minute and a half into the first round, Davies, and he hasn't really, his record don't really hint at power, because he's now 14 wins with no defeats, no draws, and 6 KOs or stoppages. But he exploded with this long right hand that pushed Cunningham back into the ropes. Cunningham was already near the ropes. Cunningham he had this reaction, which was clearly he was buzzed, and then he tried to fight back, but Davies again sort of exploded and unloaded, if you like, punches galore, pushed Cunningham onto the adjacent ropes, and in fact the force of the punches sort of half spun Cunningham round, and he fell into the ropes with his facing outwards out of the ring, his back to Davies. And the referee, even though he didn't hit the floor, the referee called it a knockdown, I think quite rightly. And clearly Cunningham was buzzed. You could see by his eyes that he knew where he was, but whether his neurology was still attached to his legs is another matter, because Davies again goes forward, very, very aggressive, very explosive, batters Cunningham again onto the ropes, and Cunningham looking to ride out the storm, but there were, I would say 4 or 5 punches were 4 of every 5 punches thrown were landing, and Cunningham just wasn't replying. And yes, like I say, his eyes did look clear, but he did not look steady. He was, the proverbial sort of reed in the wind, on the ropes, blowing around, taking way too many headshots. And the referee jumped in and stopped the fight. And I don't blame the referee, actually, because nothing was coming back and too many punches were landing. I don't think the referee had much of an option, to be honest. I know Cunningham wasn't happy with the stoppage. It's the first time I think he's ever been blown away. He has got 2 stoppage defeats on his record. Zolane Tete knocked him out in 4 rounds last year. But it was a year ago, almost to the day. But that fight should have been called a no contest, because Tete failed a drugs test, and that was a bad knockout. That was only 2 fights ago. That was a genuine knockout. And also Reece Bellotti stopped Jason in 6 rounds back in 2017. That was a long, long time ago. But This time round, yeah, no one's ever done that to him. And to be honest with you, it was one of those fights where you got the feeling if Cunningham could have settled down, could have ridden out the storm, and maybe taken Liam into the fourth, fifth round and settled down, he might have got his boxing going. Being a southpaw, he might have got the jab pumping, and maybe in the middle rounds pulled it back a bit. But he just couldn't get out of that initial storm. And in fact, the one who ended up being drowned, not in the later rounds, but in the first round, was Jason Cunningham. So well done to Liam Davies. He talked afterwards about maybe going for a world title shot. Of course, let's not forget that the top of the tree in the super bantam division is someone called Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue is going to face Marlon Tapales, we hope, for all the belts, all four belts. Davies, no, well, I mean, come on, man. You're talking about they talk about levels in this game, but that's levels for you right there. I don't really see anyone being on. I don't really see Davies being in, and there's no disrespect intended, but I don't see him being anywhere near the league of Inoue. But then neither is anyone else, to be honest with you. I fully expect Inoue to knock Tapales out and have all four belts, and then move up. When he does move up and the belts become free, maybe Liam Davies can go for a world title that's maybe vacant, which is fair enough. No shame in that. But this was a good performance, really good performance. So he's now British and European champ. Jason Cunningham at 33, is he going to call it a day? I don't know. I mean, he's had a great career, and he's somewhat overachieved. But he maybe can have another run if he's eager. It depends the support he's going to get. This was on a TNT, former BT Sports card, with Queensbury supporting Liam Davies, but they have given Jason a lot of work in the past. If they continue working with him, maybe he can make another run. Maybe Liam will vacate the British and Jason can go for that again, or maybe Jason could go for the Commonwealth again. But he's been British, Commonwealth and European champ before. Does he want to do that again? I don't know. It's up to him, isn't it? We'll see. It's all about motivation and whether you still want to do it. If not, he can walk off into the sunset now, and he had a very good career. He's now 32 wins with only 7 KOs, 8 defeats, and 3 of those are by KO. No draws, so very much an overachiever, and he kept coming back. He'd lose a fight, then he'd win a couple, and he'd lose again, and no shame in his career. I think it's been a very good career. How far can Liam Davies go? He wants a world belt. Who knows, he might get one. But did you see this fight? If you did, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And of course, as always, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button if you don't mind that. That'll help us out and spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I appreciate your time as always. And tonight we've got Spence versus Crawford. Really looking forward to that one. Of course, I'm sure you are too. I'll be doing a video on that, like a review video. So look out for that. Until then, take care of yourselves and bye for now.